everyone. This is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you a reading here for Tuesday, January 17th, 2023. And we have here out of the Traditional Rider-Waite deck, the Five of Pentacles. So, as you can see here, these people are kind of walking outside of what appears to be maybe a church, looking a little bit worn down, maybe walking in the snow. And what I really feel with this is somebody who is feeling really tired of the things that they've been going through, maybe feeling left out of things, left out of the loop, left out in general, feeling just overall just tired of this difficulty, the difficult circumstances that they've been going through. And so I really feel with this that this is about taking a path less traveled, right? The path less traveled. And so, I really see that this is maybe even feeling like the world has turned its back on you in some way, right? That the circumstances that you've been dealt, you feel like maybe they're unfair to you. But what I'm being shown with this is a horse, right? And what this means spiritually is that you have the endurance to get through this and to jump all of these hurdles with ease, very effortlessly. It's about using your skills. All of the skills and lessons that you've been going through in your whole life have prepared you for this moment right here, okay? And so contrary to popular belief, you are doing what you feel is right for you, right? A lot of people probably could be projecting their issues on you in terms of what they have, the concerns that they have for you, their worries. And so this is where you are allowed an opportunity by the grace of God to utilize your independent thinking, your critical thinking, and this is not a time for you to be influenced by outside factors, whether that is friends that are projecting those worries on you, whether that is the society expectations. This is all purposeful. There is a grand design here, and this is really taking you down a path that you are meant to go down. It doesn't seem that way right now. It might really feel pretty darn dark and gloomy right now, but this is really taking you to where you're meant to be. This is like walking down the alley right now. You're walking down the alley in the big city, and it's dark, it's scary, there's dumpsters overflowing with garbage, and you're like, what am I doing here? Like, I don't even want to be here right now. But once you get out of that, the whole place is lit up, and it's like bouncing with the energy, and you just are ready for it, okay? So you could feel like, man, I am dusted right now. Like I don't have any more energy in me right now. I'm probably going to collapse. I'm probably not even going to make it to the end of this alley, right? Feeling just down and out. Feeling emotionally worn down. Feeling like you don't have it in you. But this is a time for you to take that step that you need to. Take a deep breath and put one foot in front of the other and just get yourself to where you need to be. Just like dust your shoulders off, right? Like get yourself back up, stand back up. When we fall down, we get back up. And so you could be feeling that. You could be feeling, the word kaput comes through, right? Like you could be feeling like you've fallen right on your face and you feel broken in some way, shape, or form. I feel like you have somebody working closely with you. And I feel like this is supposed to be somebody that is helping you. And I feel like you're the brains of the operation and the other person is the brawn. Or maybe I have that reversed. Like you're the brawn of the operation and the other person is the brains of the operation. So it's meant for you guys to be working together to get yourself through that, right? That's the skill. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and I feel like you do complement one another very well in terms of getting yourself to where you need to be. But I do feel that part of this falling down and then standing back up right now and getting yourself into a space where you're putting one foot in front of another I do feel that that was purposeful in terms of, you know what your limit is. Like, I feel like there's been like this horizontal like line drawn in the sand, or well, snow, here in the card, and well, here in New York where I'm at. But you know, I feel like you know what you're going to allow yourself to tolerate, or what is your limit. And that is to the point where if you start to experience some of those external factors happening around you, then you know, oh, okay, that's it. That's happening. Now I know it's time for drastic measures. And when that starts to happen, I feel like you're not going to allow it any longer. And then you're going to start to really make big, significant changes where you're no longer putting one foot in front of another, but maybe you're like making a dead run for the end of that alley, and probably letting go of a lot of things in your life that you really weren't expecting to let go of, but you have to let go of some of that stuff, right, in order to be able to make that dead run to get to the end of that alley and be done with that, right? Be done with that. So, you know, I feel like you want to improve the situation. Right now, it seems really difficult. It's like this huge, difficult, and tiring thing. And I just feel like you can't keep going in this direction. But again, we have to be mindful of how we talk, like our inner dialogue to ourselves, how we speak about the situation, how we are talking to others about our current situation. Now, it's one thing to vent about the situation. It's one thing to, see things as they are, accept the reality of that. But then it's an entire another to allow ourselves to get caught up in that and run away with that dialogue, and it lowers our vibe even more because we're just sitting in that space of like, I can't do this, and that's not healthy, right? So sometimes be reserved and be mindful of how you're speaking about that, because it might be a little bit more beneficial for you to be able to keep some of those opinions to yourself. Because is it an opinion? Are you saying that and it's not a fact? You know, it just might be how you're feeling for that moment. And feelings are fleeting, right? They come and go. They change from moment to moment. So, you know, I feel like it may not feel like this is happening for you, that it's happening to you instead. And so you feel a little bit powerless, but you have a lot more power than you know. And so just be mindful of that dialogue, right? So it's not what you wanted, but understand that it is leading you to exactly where you were meant to be. That's all this big, huge, grand design, right? And with that, I feel that what message comes in with this, what accompanies this, is that you might be feeling more inclined to follow rules, quote unquote. And when I talk about that, we're talking about like societal rules and expectations, right? Maybe your own imposed rules that you have for your life, things that you thought that you would never do, or things that you would have aspired for or hoped for, right? And so I feel that you're feeling called to take that path that's less traveled, and it puts you in a space where you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's really uncomfortable, and so you'd much rather follow the rules, right? Because it keeps you in that I'm taking the safe route, right? And so it's what's expected of you, and you've known that all along from maybe growing up, what your parents expected of you, and to grow up and get a job, work 9 to 5, right? All of those things. And now you're at a space where that isn't what you feel called to do, that doesn't fulfill your happiness, and so you're in search of that. But as you do that and you take that path less traveled, you bring in more of a sense of individualism, but that calls in more of a social justice issue in terms of distribution of wealth. Are there opportunities out there for you? And then also talking about, what status you now sit at as a result of that, because you might not be feeling as comfortable in that way. And so it is scary, it can be scary. And so the advice here is to kind of seek stability, seek that sense of security that you're longing for in a gathering place with loved ones, right? We can have that sense of belonging and that sense of acceptance through our own family unit, and or friends, right? So that's important to know. So we really want to be working with that root chakra and feeling safe in our external environment as we start to nurture and grow into our sense of individualism. So I think overall the message here is that yes, the tides will be turning for you. It will take a little bit of time. But coming through that, it is a little bit of navigating some of that shadow self and confronting some of that inner dialogue and understanding that that doesn't define you. External environment doesn't define you. Monetary things, they don't define you. And so what does define you is, what you're feeling called to do. Are you feeling fulfilled? Are you seeking new paths? Are you stepping outside of that comfort zone and growing within that, right? Because there's growth as you do those things. And so it's a beautiful process because it's a spiritual aspect as you move through that as well. So we are all growing. We are all setting the bar high, and we are all reaching higher, and so we will get there. It just does take time. So hang in there. And again, the spirit of the horse, it just brings in this really great sense of independence, and there's a majestic feel to that horse. So when all else fails, I just say, look for the magic around you, and it's always there for you, and you will always feel supported, whether that is angel numbers, whether it's some beautiful synchronicity, like you were talking about this thing that you wanted to do and then it shows up for you. So just constantly be reaching for the magic and look for the magic around you, because it isn't happening to you, it is happening for you, for the greatest good. And you just have to believe that and continue to strive for better. So great read here for us on this Tuesday. I thank you all for tuning in. And as always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.